It is the Riot Podcast. It is Wednesday, February 2nd, which also happens to be Groundhog Day.
Which we learned is also called Whistle Pig Day.
Yeah, this
Good old Whistle Pig.
information we did not share with the radio audience. So this is a little bonus for you that you get to find out that the Whistle Pig is another word for groundhog. We didn't know that. Maybe if you're from, where was it, Nikki? Appalachia?
They say that, yeah, kind of in that area. Because we were talking about this one groundhog in New Jersey, like their groundhog. He died over the weekend.
Right.
And so they didn't have enough time to have a new groundhog crowned or chosen or whatever. And so then we, talk about, what is it, the Punxsutawney Phil guy?
Right.
That groundhog says that we're supposed to have more winter. But when
As if we
looking
needed
up
him to tell us that.
groundhogs, whistle pigs kept coming up. And I was like, well... Because I think it was the Buckeye one, like the Ohio one.
Oh, yeah.
They would call him a whistle pig. And now we've learned that a whistle pig is a groundhog because groundhogs make a whistle noise.
Wouldn't it be so insulting to be called a whistle pig?
Oh, man.
You think the groundhogs are okay with that? I mean, groundhog isn't exactly better.
Especially if
Actually, you know what? I think I'd rather be called a whistle
Like
pig.
hog and pig, they go together.
Can you imagine, though, if someone called you a whistle pig nowhere near Groundhog Day? And it was just a mean term. Like, that would be awful.
You whistle pig.
Yeah.
They're both pretty horrible.
Like,
But
you're annoying to hear and you're a pig.
groundhog sound like you're so lazy, though? Like you're a hog that can't even get off the ground.
Hey, how about we don't call anybody any of that? Let's use our nice words.
But if
We're
you
just
ever
calling Phil.
really want to cut to the core of someone.
That hurts the most.
Yeah, I know, exactly. He's like, that's not even my real name.
Get it right.
Yeah.
What do we got? Can we, I know today is Groundhog Day, so we have a whole year to think about this. Can we not talk about Groundhog Day in 2023?
You don't want to talk about it on
Why?
Groundhog
Everybody's
Day?
talking
It's a
about
dumb
it.
tradition is why.
This
You don't
is
want to
now-
know if it's winter or not?
Like I said, we don't need the groundhog to tell us that.
No, 'cause we
there's
saw that
there's been like
Phil-
2 winter storms in a week that have enveloped half the country.
Phil, though, has had a pretty poor track record.
Yeah.
So just
Yes.
because they said today for Groundhog Day that they expect, the 6 more weeks of winter?
Yeah.
No one,
He's not exactly.
I'm not planning vacations around the groundhog.
and he's not exactly walking out on a limb with that one.
Yeah.
I think that everybody this year is going to hate Phil, but next year when he says we only have 2 weeks left, they're going to be like, "Oh, I love Groundhog Day! Like this
what
is
the
so great. We
best."
only have 2 weeks left. That's so awesome." But whenever he says 6 weeks of winter, everyone's like, "Well, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about.
He's not-
How do
he's
we trust
nothing-
this whistle pig?"
That's exactly.
Yeah.
He's nothing but a whistle pig.
He's just the bearer of bad news today.
Aw.
Yeah, but once he tells us next year that it's going to be a short winter, then everyone will be back on the Groundhog
That's
Day train.
it.
But this year,
I'm on
not such a popular
On
cat.
principle, I am done with Groundhog Day. It's a dumb tradition. There's too many groundhogs, too many whistle pigs, and I think it's just a bunch of attention-hungry mayors that are making this all happen. I'm not going to give it to them anymore.
Little towns that have nothing else going on that are exploiting
Right.
the groundhogs.
We didn't need to talk about Milltown, New Jersey.
Hey, it's their
and we
special
wouldn't
day.
be. We wouldn't be if it wasn't for their groundhog dying.
Well, I'm sorry that he hates it all so much. If you
Yeah.
happen to like Groundhog's Day, but you're right, there's not much to it.
There's other
No.
happy things in the podcast today.
Yeah, we've got lots of
right?
good stuff. Yeah, we talked about. Actually, this was kind of a sad one too. That the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be splitting up for
Yeah,
good
uh-huh.
after this next movie. So
That
we're
is sad.
Sad about that, but positive kind of. Valentine's Day. If you're single, there are good places to be. There are also bad.
You might not
places
be
to
in one of them.
Yeah, but it's awful. I mean, this isn't a big enough turnaround to move.
No.
So if you're in an area where it's awful if you're single,
Yeah.
we just told you
Yes.
that it's awful. There's not much you can do.
Yeah, but just see it as an opportunity, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Another positive. You are no longer required to brush your teeth nearly as much as you used to because nobody else is anyway.
You want to go to the doctor and they'll be like, wow, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, comparatively so to everyone else. I mean, this has been a down year, but other than that,
You're pretty
doing pretty
good.
okay.
I was telling Nikki, I don't know if you heard, Isaiah, about your flossing.
Yeah, my flossing routine.
Your
Yeah.
plan?
And
Oh, yeah.
what we decided on is we're all each doing our own different flossing routine, and we'll see who dies first.
We're all going to go to the dentist, and they're going to tell us the same thing. You haven't been flossing enough. And I'm going to be like, well, it's so odd because he hasn't been flossing. She's kind of been flossing, and I've really been flossing.
Yeah.
And yet
So
all
which
of
is
us.
it?
How does it all? It doesn't all add up.
Yeah, so I have kept to my routine, though. I floss every morning. I also have a floss in my car. car. So every time I drive my car, I floss.
Yeah.
So I'm flossing like 4 times a day.
See, mine's not fair. I have a permanent retainer behind my teeth.
So do I.
So they have to use that water pick thing anyways. Do they see me come in and they're like,
They already know.
They're so mad that you're there. You're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're like, what do you want from me, all right? Yeah,
You did this to me anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Floss it. You
Sorry, I
just
have perfect
can't.
teeth. What do you want from me?
Yeah,
but the
I hate it anyways.
yeah, going to the dentist no matter what is never a fun experience.
Oh,
But
no.
I am nervous because if I don't check out,
Yeah.
like if I don't do well flossing, then they said I have to do some gum thing because I did such a poor job last time. So I'm trying to go from like the worst of the worst to like the best of the best.
Big turnaround.
Oh, it's going to be tough. I have like a month and a half left.
So you go back?
Till I go back. So I have like a little 3-month check-in where they're going to tell me either if I did enough to avoid this procedure or if I have not. Then I'll
I
have to
cut
get
one of my gum in the front like years and years ago with a cough drop. Like it went into the gum.
Wait, what?
And I have been waiting because they're like, oh, you need to get it grafted. Like you need to get it skinned in.
No.
What have you done?
And I'm like, I don't want to. So like
Yeah, it
every time
hurts.
I go, they're like, well, you should probably do something soon. And I was like, and then I just wait.
Push it off. Yeah, we'll talk about it next year when I come see you. Well, 6 more months from now, we'll circle back to that.
Yeah, so man, dude, the dentist is awful.
No, the dentist is always one of the scary. Like, I just don't feel comfortable having someone in my mouth the whole time. Like, having someone's fingers in my mouth. Can you imagine being a dentist? I always think, like, the disgusting things you see as a dentist, having someone walk in, having to look inside of their mouth. Like, there's people that come in there that don't care.
Maybe we shouldn't say it's the dentist. My harder time is with the hygienist.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, they're either overly aggressive or they're, like, new and it hurts or they didn't do enough and you're like, why did I come? That sort of thing. So, all right. Well, now that we've hit everybody.
If you work in a dentist's office, we don't like you.
No, I always feel bad when we bring up dentist stuff too, because there's always somebody who texts in and they're like, I work as a dentist or a hygienist or whatever. You guys are way off base.
No,
Your gums are the most important part of your body.
Your heart's not. You're done for. All right. If you don't start
misinforming
flossing.
people. This podcast should be flagged.
I know, we're sorry, and it's our
okay.
fault, but
we
no
love
one
you guys
likes
because you
it.
clean them, but at the same time, it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, let's go get a snack so we can ruin our teeth.
Yes.
So, sounds like a plan. Enjoy the podcast today. Feel free to text 877-2-RADIO-U as we have now talked for 7 minutes and 25 seconds.
We'll see you guys next time.
Catch you next time.
2 is better than 1.
Unless we're talking about The Riot.
The Riot, Radio U.
Well, not a monumental change, but a significant change is coming to Netflix. One that I think people have been asking for quite some time.
Yeah.
It is the ability to remove a show from your continue watching tab.
Oh, on Netflix?
Yeah.
So, like, you have the row of, like, this is what you've been watching.
Right.
And if you hate it so much,
Yeah.
you don't want it to show
You're
there,
finally ready to give up on it.
then you can now easily remove it.
Yeah. There used to be. Did you ever do this? You had something that you started watching, and then it would come up as the first thing on your continue watching. And then you felt like you had to start watching 4 other
You
things, so
did.
then it would push it away.
Yes, because it was always just what would be, or I would start watching other things and they would never show, and that one would still
Really?
just be there.
I never had that before.
Oh yeah, so I know there was like back ways to remove things from it, so it would stop like pushing it and recommending it.
Yeah.
But for this, you can just remove. You just click the remove from continued watching.
You do have to click on the title first, so
know
that
if I can do
runs
that.
the risk of it starting up again.
Oh, that's true.
But if you ever get into, I think it's more common with TV shows than with the movies, because if you're watching a movie, you're probably going to finish it or not. But with a TV show, maybe you get a few episodes in, you're like, let's be honest, never going to get back around to that. Now you just click on the title and you scroll on down. You find the remove from continue watching button. You can get rid of it that way. But fear not if you ever accidentally click on that. You can also just click on the undo remove, and then you can still continue watching it. So.
I like when you click on a movie or a show now, it's like, here's 80 options, because they just keep scrolling down the list.
Right.
But I do think that's nice, because I don't watch enough on Netflix to move my continued watching
Yeah,
things
if there's
a lot.
something on there that is just going to keep haunting you.
It'll just be there almost bugging me because I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see it. So, yeah, that's a nice feature. year.
Yeah, and I'm just the type of person that likes to have, I like to very organized.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have stuff that I know I'm never going to finish cluttering up my continue
Looking
watching.
at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
making it feel like I didn't finish something when, the truth is it didn't. It's its fault, not mine.
I really like the rest of our lives are a mess, but our continued watching is
that
clean
has got
and
to be
organized.
organized. Let's keep that in order, please.
That's what really is important to us.
Yeah, so no matter whether you've got a show you started you're never going to finish, or whether you started The Power of the Dog and you saw something you can't unsee and you turned it off.
You got to remove it from your continued
Whatever
watching.
it is, you can send it where it belongs off of your continue watching tab.
Good. Well, thanks, Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm glad for the price increases we've had.
Yeah, this is what that's paying for.
If this is what we're getting back, I'm glad we're finally getting something.
Worth every penny.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So did you see yesterday, Nikki, that Tom Brady made his retirement announcement official?
I did. Actually, I was in a meeting with Nene. He's our new afternoon DJ.
Yeah.
And he looked down at his watch and he's like basically announced it. I was like, okay. And then we went back to the meeting.
Did he read the whole 4 pages of
the thank
of
you?
the announcement? Yeah.
No, he just said, oh, finally he's announced. Because, I mean, over the weekend, it felt like everybody else got the jump on the announcement that he was going to make.
Yeah.
And so then, you wait a few days, and now he yesterday got to finally make his own announcement.
Yeah, I think, it's possible that he hadn't made up his mind, but it kind of sounded like he already knew, and so he kind of sent out his dad and some of the other people to just push back on the report just so he could have the moment of announcing it, because he should. Isaia and I were talking about this yesterday. Why should why? This isn't a life or death type of thing. Why is it so important for the ESPN people to break the news early instead of letting Tom Brady have
His
one
moment.
last moment of this is like retiring on his terms?
Well, listen, for sports, it's not like there's the same celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
And big announcements that they only get so many.
Yeah,
So
right.
I think they were just jumping on it.
Yeah, so
22 seasons he did.
22 seasons. Did you see this, Nikki, that you want to know how much he made
His whole
during his whole career?
Oh, gosh.
We're just talking about contracts, NFL wise, not even all the endorsements and stuff.
I'm sure it's a lot, but what is it?
It is $292.9 million.
That is so much money.
Again, that's
just contracts?
only what he was paid by the Patriots and the Buccaneers. Not even talking about he used to have stuff with Gillette. He's had a million endorsement deals over the years. So he's made, that is actually the most any player's ever made in the NFL.
7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP. All that gets you bonuses.
Yeah.
3-time NFL MVP. Love him or hate him, he had a long career.
Yeah. And
Did he only play for the Buccaneers and Patriots?
Yep, that's right.
Only 2 teams?
20 years with the Patriots, and then those last 2 tacked on with the Buccaneers.
And were people mad that he wasn't as vocal about the Patriots and his goodbye stuff?
He actually did not in all of the long tech announcement he posted on his Twitter and Instagram. The Patriots are not really mentioned at all. And so some people did take issue with that. But it is kind of odd. But then you think back to when he left the Patriots, he also posted a ton of stuff about how much he loved the Patriots and thanking everybody there. So they all got their thank yous a little bit. And now this was really focusing on the Buccaneers and a few other people that maybe aren't as tied to a team but have helped him through his career. So.
Well, Tom Brady, congratulations. I see your tweets that you sent out, and that's a lot, so I'm not going to read all that.
Even I did not read the entire thing.
Woo!
I was like, once I got to the 3rd page, I was
Good
like,
enough.
hey, look, you had a great career and everything. That doesn't mean I'm going to read.
Not that much.
Yeah, right. You haven't earned that much in my book.
So finally announced and finally official that Tom Brady. So then who will be the quarterback for the Buccaneers?
Now that's up in the air.
Is it the Aaron Rodgers stuff?
That's been talked about.
I know.
I've heard some interesting scenarios that seem plausible because the Buccaneers are in a unique situation now. They do have a few guys where they're going to have a tough time keeping them all.
Oh, they need a good follow-up.
But yeah, they have enough left on the team that you want to get a quarter. You don't want to have to draft a quarterback or get some young guy.
Sure.
You don't know how it's going to be. So you just maybe swap a few things, and all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is there. It's a possibility, and I've said this before. Doesn't Aaron Rodgers just seem like a Florida man?
He does.
He thinks he would fit right in.
And you know what? You seem like a Buccaneers fan. Because I know you said you'll follow Aaron Rodgers.
You know what? My wife has already got all the gear from cheering for Tom Brady, so it'll be a seamless transition.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We alluded to this last week. We talked on the show. Bradley Cooper says that he's done with acting and doing movies that don't involve his own writing.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Did you really say that?
That's what he said.
Uh-huh.
In like a pretentious way? Or?
We couldn't really
Is there a non-pretentious way for Bradley Cooper to do something?
I don't think so.
Is
he too good to be the raccoon or the one?
I guess so.
This idea was already out there, and then in a recent interview talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, the director, he's done the first two Guardians of the Galaxy as well. He also just did the Suicide Squad for DC. But he's going to be doing the third Guardians of the Galaxy as well. And he says that this is the end. This is the quote. This is the end for us. The last time people will see this team of Guardians.
Oh, of everybody?
Yeah, so he also said that it will probably be his last as director in the Guardians of the Galaxy series. So not necessarily the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy series, the team. However, it does seem that between Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, Rocket, Bradley Cooper, Groot, Vin Diesel, Dave Bautista as Drax, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora. It sounds like some of them aren't going to make it out alive from the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, maybe it's just Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
They're giving it away.
Maybe
it's giving it away just by his
Yeah.
career choices.
Maybe that's all that they're really saying, and we don't need to look too much more into it.
We don't need to read any more in.
Nah,
He said,
it's just him.
He also said, James Gunn says that there will definitely be character death in the new movie as well.
Hopefully just Rocket. That's what we circle back to. Hopefully it's just Rocket again and everyone else
You
lives.
guys don't like Rocket as the character?
I mean, he already said he's not going to be coming back, so I'm just trying to keep everybody else alive.
Well, maybe he just means that he, he's already standing in this series, so maybe that gets an exemption.
I don't know.
And he just means he's not going to sign up for anything new.
I'm a firm believer. If you don't want to be in it, and
Then go.
if it's not good enough for you anymore, then go write your other movies.
Well,
and we
what
only
if-
want to see Guardians of the Galaxy.
What if, because we also mentioned this, Nikki, while you were gone, what if Bradley Cooper easily replaceable? You can keep the character, just get rid of him.
Yeah, that is something true.
Not everybody even knows that it was Bradley Cooper doing the voice the whole time.
That's a good point. I feel like when I read this, I feel like every ensemble cast now, there's the more people you have in the cast, the more likely between movies someone's going to get canceled in a real big way. And so you can't have these movies anymore with a ton of people because someone's going to be unliked.
You're not going to make it. Yeah, you're not going to
keep
make
them
it.
all in line. That's a possibility for sure.
So by the time this movie actually comes out, which I feel like will be never for Guardians of the Galaxy, for the third one, more people will be unliked from the list of stars.
It is set for release on May 5th of next year, so that's a lot of time for
it's not
somebody to
even
say
this
something
year?
stupid. Yeah.
Well, give Bradley
so
Cooper
much time.
more time.
I just wish that they hadn't came out and said it already that they're going to be disbanded pretty much.
Right.
Why can't we just find out in the movie theater, be way more intense, and be like, oh my gosh, we're never going to see them all together again. But now it's ruined for me. And now when I go, I'm like, well, this is the last time I'm going to get to see them.
Maybe it's so impactful, whatever happens in the movie, that you just need to be emotionally prepared heading in. Similar to what's happened in the Avengers movies, where sometimes it can be so emotional, you just, you're not even ready. You need to be ready for...
Don't worry. It'll be so long, you won't remember by then.
Yeah. It's so far away. It'll be a surprise.
Slip your mind, you're fine. You'll be like, oh, I didn't remember.
Yeah, well, either way, I don't care what happens in the movie. I'm looking forward to it.
I do care. Don't kill Chris Pratt. That's my only wish. Don't kill Star-Lord. That's all I want. Or I'm leaving the movie theater upset.
He's
I'm
replaceable.
Sure they'll keep
What are you
him.
talking about replaceable?
He's replaceable.
No.
We'll find somebody else.
The Riot Podcast.
Radio U.
today, not just the Battle of the Buzz, it's also a special day. It is Groundhog Day. I don't know. I think some have maybe announced what they think, their predictions. Some of the groundhogs by this point. I don't know what they say. I don't really care.
I never remember it. I don't remember if it's this, it sees that. It's long. I can never remember for Groundhog's Day.
I was looking at Punxsutawney Phil earlier this week. We were talking about how there's a Canadian one, right?
Yes.
So it sent me down a groundhog hole.
Because there's more than one.
Yeah, how many there are, and looking back, which was the original, which seems to be Punxsutawney Phil. And I looked, and he had a streak of 50 years where it was almost all the same thing. So generally, but so if you were a betting person,
go with that.
Then you would go with whatever it was that was 50 years in a row. He's got a long history of whatever that was, but I don't remember which of the two it was.
Well, it really impacted you, didn't it?
But one of the groundhogs not making a prediction today, and that is Milltown Mel.
So that one's a New Jersey groundhog.
Yeah.
And that was their one.
Yeah.
But something happened. Was it yesterday?
We don't know when it actually was. They have not revealed the details of when Milltown Mel met an unfortunate end, but all we know,
he died.
Yeah, they say he crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
If you're a pet owner, man, you hate hearing that.
Yeah,
the Rainbow Bridge.
It's a bad phrase, a tough phrase to hear. But Milltown Mel, he is no longer with us, and so. They say that he can't make a prediction.
Sure.
But Milltown Mel will be replaced.
But not
which
yet.
That must make Milltown Mel feel great.
So they posted,
in the afterlife where he's like, come on, I'm replaceable just like that.
So,
but not for this year.
No, on Sunday was when they announced that the groundhog had died. And so they're going to pause and not do a ceremony today.
Yeah.
And instead have not a competition, but they're going to then find a new groundhog for next year.
It seems to me that all of the other groundhogs in Milltown are already accounted for. They're all related to Milltown Mel, so now they have to wait for a new Milltown Mel to be born in the spring later this year.
They say a groundhog...
But we won't know if that will come on time or not because the Milltown Mel isn't there to predict it.
They need to go get the Punxsutawney Phil one. They need to go steal them.
They're just riding off of his coattails anyways, right? That's the other thing I was thinking, especially when I see this and when I was looking earlier. I think it's one thing if Canada wants their own and the U.S. gets their own. But we don't need there's a million. There's way more than you think. All these different groundhogs and stuff.
They take it seriously. I don't understand.
Yeah. No, nobody. I don't know. I feel like it's just a little photo op for the mayor is what it really is, right? The mayor just wants to get some attention. But I don't know. What do you think about this? Isn't it convenient that Milltown Mel passed away so close to when he was supposed to predict the weather?
Well, I just don't think
it was because somebody's trying to keep him quiet?
No, I think they just don't check in with him until it's close to
Yeah? You don't think they care about him year round?
I don't think they do. And they were like, oh, he died.
Somebody finally checked in. Hey, Mel.
Oh, you there?
Yeah. And then, no, I don't know. That would leave the door open. Maybe Mel had an extreme prediction for this year.
Maybe Mel
and it's in somebody's best interest for that prediction to not get out.
Mel has a brother, and the brother got mad.
Yeah, that's right. Tired of Mel getting all the spotlight. Milltown Mike needs to take over.
No, they just said that groundhogs only live for 3 years anyways. So it's not uncommon that they're passing away like that.
Yeah.
So New Jersey, you need a new
succession
groundhog
plan
for today, but they're going to wait till next year.
Yeah, so I guess for New Jersey, you just won't have any idea what the weather's going to be.
What are you going to do?
You're just going to have to ride by the seat of your pants.
And follow all the other ones.
Yeah, take your chances. It can't be too different from Staten Island, Chuck.
Sure.
They're pretty close.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I have a new study here.
Yeah.
It comes from Scrap Car Comparison. I believe that may be in the UK, where, they asked University of Birmingham in the UK to take care of the study for them. And they were researching how dirty the inside of people's cars are. They tested various areas of a car to see how contaminated they are.
Like how much germs?
Yeah. And they found that in many areas of your car, it is dirtier than a toilet seat.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, isn't that good to hear?
That's great.
At least though, like, I mean, it's your germs.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
wait, other people are riding in your car too, aren't they?
I mean, not as much.
Not
like
in my seat.
Not if
No?
it was like compared to a public toilet or something.
No, but they're talking about your own toilet.
Dude, it's bad.
It's got more of your germs than your toilet has.
I think it kind of makes sense, though, you know, because you think about how frequently you clean your toilet. It's probably more frequently than you're actually cleaning your car.
For some
Yeah.
people, sure. And you're spending more time in your car. Like they said, some of the worst spots were the drivers.
I think people could also be spending more time at the toilet.
You think?
Yeah, these
That's
work from home people. Everybody who works from home, they haven't drive their car
I
in
guess
months.
that's right.
That's
I guess that's
right.
right. Well, they say some of the worst spots in the car is actually the trunk. So that's not your bacteria.
Ew.
I don't know whose that is, but it's not like you're hunkering down in the trunk.
I want to find a way to clean, like when you shift it into drive and stuff, the gear thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
That
need to clean
part,
that?
I need to clean that, too.
And I don't, because I see on like TikTok, they're like getting the putty or like the
Oh, yeah.
gel
Oh,
sort of
you
stuff.
mean like
I've
where
seen
the
those,
stick
yeah.
goes in. Yeah. You're not talking about the handle. You're talking about
The bottom
inside.
part.
Yeah, that can get nasty. All kinds of crumbs.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
That's bad.
Yeah,
that's
that's where
bad.
mine's really bad right there, too. Mine is covered. I mean, covered in dog hair. There's dog hair all
yeah.
Jim just sheds all over the car. He rides. He doesn't ride in the front seat anymore.
Aw.
And he hasn't in like months, but still somehow the front seat is just covered in
Well,
his
it's
white
on
dog
you.
hair. Yeah, it's all over me.
So I think that's what happens because I try every morning when I come into work. I will take trash out of my car, like if there's any drinks
Oh,
or
yeah?
anything, and I'll put it in the break room trash, and then I'll be like, "Hey, it's clean somewhat," but I need to actually clean.
Yeah, that's I'm with you on that. I try to do what I can to bring stuff in from my car when I get to work because that's the one place where I'm usually my hands are free. When I get home, a lot of times I'm carrying stuff, and it's not the garbage.
They say to make sure you should maybe reconsider not eating in your car. Yeah, right.
Oh, no way.
That's not going to change. Or they say you should make sure you wash your hands because it might be dirtier than you think.
Oh, we're not
Yeah.
doing that either.
And they say if you come into like direct contact with certain parts of your car's surfaces, you might have some bacteria
Yeah,
then.
but you know what? It's supposedly so contaminated, so whatever. And you know what? Somehow we're still pretty healthy, aren't we? Maybe it's helping us build up a tolerance.
The car?
Yeah.
That's not where we're getting sick
Or
from.
maybe the reason my toilet seat is so clean is because we're not eating on it.
Could be.
There you go.
Whereas the car constantly eating in it.
Or I know some people that are, especially some bands, that basically the car is the toilet. So it just depends on how you're treating your vehicle. Just be aware it might be dirtier than you think.
Yeah, it probably is, but what are you going to do about it?
Clean it.
No, nobody's going to do that.
I don't think I've ever actually like detailed cleaned my car ever.
Have you gotten someone to do it before?
Never.
Never?
Well,
Never.
it looks pretty nice on the outside, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, you
wouldn't know.
You never been inside. That's
Yeah.
where it looks all
We
dirty.
need to judge the heart of Isaiah's car.
Yes.
The heart is dirty.
It is
the
funny.
outside looks good.
I think you can
Inside,
tell
no.
whenever we go out to a RadioU staff lunch and we'll carpool.
Oh, that's when it's bad.
And that's when you can tell who feels comfortable with their car and who
Oh,
doesn't.
yeah.
Because Sydney will always be like, "Hey,
I'll
everybody,
drive."
hop in," and
Her
I've got
car's
almost as many
spotless.
seats in my car, and I'm like, Nobody say.
Sydney's
Nobody
car
ask
is
if I can drive.
spotless.
Nobody ask if I can drive.
There's nothing inside. Like when I sit down in that car, I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing in here. Like this is so clean compared to at least to my car.
Yeah.
Where like in the back seat, there's like McDonald's bags sitting back there. Like there's some like leftover McDonald's pancakes from who knows how long ago. It's pretty bad.
Well,
Yeah.
all we do is we blame our dogs.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
you just say
Our dogs and my wife.
And you just say that, hey, I have to go somewhere after lunch. I'll drive separately. So
Yeah.
no one will see your shame.
But let's all take this as a reminder that
Clean your car.
No, not clean it. Just remember that it's dirty when you're inside, as if you
Yes.
didn't already see all the garbage that's already.
We
in there.
don't need a reminder for that. We know very well.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Just talking about a study about that says the inside of your car can be a lot dirtier, is likely a lot dirtier, at least bacteria-wise, than even your toilet seat.
Wonderful to hear.
Yeah, isn't that great to hear? And we were talking about how the inside of our cars, like you just don't want to clean it out. It doesn't feel great. And I think there's a few certain people. For me, anyways, that if you know they're going to be riding in your car ahead of time, like some family members and stuff, it's
You'll
like,
clean it out.
I better clean it out ahead of time. But isn't it a great Isn't it feel so freeing in a friendship where you have a friend that, like, if you guys are going to ride together, you know you guys are so close, they're not even going to judge you. You don't have to clean out the inside of your car.
You don't even have to take the trash part out. They'll just take their feet and scoot all that over.
Yep, all the McDonald's cups. You can just push them to the
whatsoever.
side. Yeah, because you really get to a great point where maybe the first few times your friend rides in the dirty car, you're like, sorry about the mess. Eventually, you guys get close enough where you don't even have to apologize about the mess.
You're like, it's been busy. Now there's no excuses.
And
that's just how you are.
That's a huge moment, and a lot of us have a lot of friends like that, but it's good to have a few that they can ride in the dirty car. And
listen, I promise, if I ever go in your car, I'm not going to say anything.
I don't have to apologize.
I never have to apologize.
Yeah, I'm glad we have that understanding.
That's right.
Well, that it does really feel good to kind of move past all that where you have to go through all the trouble of cleaning your car. I mean, not that your car shouldn't be clean, but it's just like you don't want to have to all the pressure of I need to make sure this person doesn't know that I have a dirty car most of the time. It's good to have that set aside. And, that's not just true about cars. It's kind of true about our lives, too, where it's good to have some people that can see inside your life. They can see the mess that's there, and you don't have to apologize for it. You don't have to try to hide it because they know. And, with your car, I bet your friend's probably not going to help you clean it out. Maybe if they're a really good friend. But with your life, when you have people that can actually see the mess that's going on inside, that can actually be very helpful. And that's what God can do for you, too, because God sees the mess. God already knows. You don't have to try to clean up the inside mess for Jesus. He sees whatever mess we might have inside that most people don't get to see. But again, you don't have to apologize to God for it. You don't have to say, sorry about all the mess and start to feel bad and get all down on yourself because God still loves you, even with the mess there. We all have messes that we might want to shy away from with most people. But you've got to have somebody that can help you deal with the mess. And that's what Jesus will do. If all you need to do is ask, say, hey, God, I've got some mess in my life. I know you know about it. And so I just want to be open about it. And I want you to help me with it. I want to know a way to deal with it. And I want you to show me that. And he will.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Did you know National Cheddar Day is coming up?
Ooh.
I don't know if National Cheddar Day was a real holiday before or if Tillamook, the dairy company, if they just coined National Cheddar Day, they just announced it. But either way, it's coming up February 13th. Which just so happens to coincide with
the Super Bowl. Guys,
and
we can't. It's Valentine's Day the next day. Like, that's a really busy weekend.
Yeah.
Can we not add anything else?
Well, National Cheddar Day, it's too much on your plate.
That's too much.
Yeah, too much on your cracker.
It's absolutely taken us over, and I already had things planned, and now I got to have more cheese.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing is you can buy some cheese for National Cheddar Day and cheesy themed stuff and just have that be a part of the whole weekend celebration.
You could.
That works great on Super Bowl Day and on Valentine's Day. I think.
So Tillamook is a cheese company.
Yeah.
It's good cheese too. It's expensive cheese.
It is
but
pretty expensive.
It's good.
It is.
But they did a cheddar capsule collection. So a lot of companies, like food ones, they'll do merch runs and, collections and stuff.
Right.
So for this, they absolutely have merch items that are cheese related.
And you know what? I'm looking at them. They're not actually too ridiculously overpriced, but the one that is seems to be the most noteworthy is their cheddar party pants.
They're cheddar colored. It's a bold. It's like a yellow orange.
You're really going to stand out.
You will. And they have pockets, like a lot of pockets.
A lot of pockets. In fact,
to fit cheese.
So many pockets. They say you can hold at least 3 pounds of cheese between all the pockets if you wanted to.
Oh, and they're insulated too.
Oh, that's what? To keep the cheese cold?
Yeah, they are.
So it doesn't melt?
Well, against your body.
Yeah.
The body
heat
would really melt the cheese. cheese quickly.
Yeah.
So it has like a fanny
Some people
pack,
would like that.
a fanny pack thing kind of on the top, and then just pockets for cheeses, and they're insulated. The other capsule collections are, I like the slices bag. It's like it's a purse that looks like cheese slices kind of cascading down.
Yeah.
That's $15. They have a koozie and Cheddar playing cards.
They also have, have you seen the mother loaf?
What is that?
That's 40 pounds of cheese.
Oh, it's actual cheese?
It's actual cheese.
That's $150.
That's a good deal.
Is it?
It feels like a good deal. I just don't know. The thing is, I don't know how you're going to eat 40 pounds of cheese before it goes bad. Again, just like the chili cheese keg we talked about earlier this week.
Yeah.
I don't care how many people you have over for your Super Bowl party. You're not going to go through 40 pounds of cheese.
Well, the mother loaf is $150, and they're not shipping that until the 8th. So just a heads up. I don't know if that means you would get it in time for the Super Bowl or for Valentine's. But you'd be eating cheese for weeks.
You're going to be stopped up. You know? Okay.
Thank you, Hudson.
I also like the thick cut crew neck, which it's, again, the bright cheddar yellow. But that kind of has like the, what do you call those? Is that tassels? What is that? The fringe.
Yeah.
It looks like it's from the 60s or whatever. And, that's kind of nice. All the things, though, obviously the mother loaf excluded, but all of the stuff that is clothing or the bag or whatever, does it not look kind of like your mom just sewed it together?
It looks like I think it was in home ec, you had like one sewing project.
Yeah.
Where they gave you a piece of felt.
Yes.
And you had to sew it together.
It looks like that, doesn't it?
It does.
It doesn't. Maybe that's why it is so surprisingly affordable, because it is somebody's school project that they just threw together. It's not really highly quality items.
The Tillamook Cheddar collection, it looks like everything that is more like clothing wise.
Yeah.
It looks like that's all sold out. So it's just the cheaper stuff is still there. And if you want the mother loaf, it looks like, oh no, that's sold out too.
Everything's sold out. Man, it only went on sale yesterday and we missed it all already.
They don't have as many 40-pound blocks of cheddar cheese, I guess.
All right, last question.
Mm-hmm.
I show up in the party pants. I've got 3 pounds of cheese in all the pockets.
Am I supposed to mention it or just?
Well, would you eat some?
Oh, not
if it's in a pocket?
Not from your party
not
pants.
Not from my party
I'm not going to.
No. That defeats the purpose then, doesn't it?
That's your own party that you're having.
I have to eat all 3 pounds myself.
Yes, you do. Oh, you're packing your lunch.
Fair enough.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Round the corner.
And some people might see Valentine's Day as an opportunity to find a new special someone, or at least go on a date or two. And to help us break down the best and worst places to find a date for singles is our dating correspondent, Isaia.
Whoa!
Hey.
Go ahead. Dating correspondent.
You act like we're going to tell them, like, oh, yeah, just go to Target and you'll find somebody. We have a list of states. So if you want to move before Valentine's Day, then I can help you find a date.
There was a really big TikTok trend where guys would go to Target to try to find girls, like to pick them up in the aisles.
Oh, my gosh.
Because, we just like to go walk around Target. And
what do you mean we? Women?
Who is this we?
Women. Yeah, you just like to go and, shop at Target.
Yeah, I do love Target.
Guys would go there to try to find or ask someone out if they were looking to find a date.
Can you imagine like trying to ask someone out at Target? I feel like that would be so awkward.
It
like
would
in a
be.
public place like that at Target, like they're just trying to like get milk or like buy like something cute at Target, and then guys are approaching them trying to ask them out on dates. I don't know. I'd be afraid to go to Target if I saw that trending if I was a girl.
Well, it'd be safer in Target than if they waited till you were outside.
Yeah, exactly.
That's way worse.
At least they were inside. They weren't waiting in the parking lot like, hey, I didn't know what you were doing this Saturday.
Yeah, you look pretty.
Yeah.
Well, what's the
what we got
break
here
it down for us
is if you live in California, you have no excuse not to have a date for Valentine's Day. That's what I've come to, because they sit atop at number 1, and then on the other end,
as the best state for a person to find a date.
Yeah, so it says best and worst states for singles. Mm-hmm. So your opportunity their metrics say that you have a really high opportunity to have a date.
Now I'm taking a look at this, and this makes it sound like they say for singles. I feel like what they mean is the best place for a first date.
Yeah.
Like the best place to find your first date with somebody new. And what's funny is so they have their, like how they break it down, how they determined their rankings. They have dating opportunities, like stuff you can, I guess the amount of people that might be single near you. They also have dating economics, like how expensive it is to go on a date. And then romance and fun, like stuff to do. And the states that rank near the top in the opportunities and fun rank near the bottom in the economics. And yet that still makes them rank near the top overall.
Because everything in California, and number 2 is New York.
Yeah.
So like it's more expensive, but you have a lot more people. So.
A lot more people and a lot of options of things to do.
So if you're single, you have time to get to California, New York, Florida, Texas, or Pennsylvania.
So,
looking at the other end of the
that's
spectrum.
what I didn't want to make people feel bad about.
But if you live in these places,
you have no hope.
You nearly have no shot.
Yeah.
You might want to get the airplane ready now. Maybe you could move. Maybe take a little vacation here for a week or so. But if you're sitting in West Virginia right now, that's the 50 spot. Arkansas at 49, North Dakota 48, Wyoming 47, Mississippi 46, and Kentucky 45.
See, I know that they ranked places in part. Obviously, if there's a lower population, you're going to have less people to choose from. But they ranked in part based off of stuff to do. But like everybody if you're in Arkansas, you all have an equal amount of stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to compare yourself to other states in that regard. Because like whatever makes a good date in Arkansas makes a good date in Arkansas. It's not like the person that if you finally find somebody single, it's not like they're going to be like, oh, don't want to do that. There's not a lot of options in Arkansas of stuff to do.
Actually, now that you say that, I have one friend who's in Arkansas and he's single.
Of course.
There's nothing else there. They say the most online.
If you're in Arkansas listening right now, talk to Nikki. She'll set you up.
I think you guys might it seems like you'll be wonderful together. So most online dating opportunities goes to Washington, New Hampshire, Colorado, Utah, California. Mobile dating opportunities goes to Hawaii, Utah, Maryland, Massachusetts, and Colorado. So those are most restaurants. They add that into like best dating areas. California, Florida, New York, Texas, Illinois.
Now I'm stumped of if I was in Arkansas, what would you do for a date?
Well,
where would you go?
Like, what would you do anyway?
Movie,
to go
dinner?
get food?
Yeah, that's boring.
What are you talking
Do
about?
something fun.
For a first date? I don't know.
First dates are boring.
You can't be. If you do something fun, you know what that results in spending more money. I don't want to indulge a bunch of money into this
money.
first
You
date.
could go out and do something like
Go to a picnic.
A hike. Like go see some of the
so
sights.
that they can kill you.
Yeah. What are you insane, Hudson? You need to be in a public place.
It's okay, fine.
All right, wait. We're going full circle back, which is why you're going to Target.
Yes, back to Target, where you met them in the first place.
You're safe inside.
This, you know what? All this just makes me glad I'm not dating anymore.
That's the real thing.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. The Riot, RadioU.
It's official, although many of us have seemed to know that this was coming for a while. The Washington football team of the NFL has announced their new team name. They are no longer the Washington football team.
That was supposed to be the in-between line.
That was the placeholder.
The holding name.
And now they have announced officially that they are the Washington Commanders. So I guess they're supposing that they are going to command the NFC East
The
from
uniforms
here on
look
out.
good, I think.
Yeah, what do you think? How do we feel about
I
the
think it's a
uniforms?
frowny face.
No. I think the uniforms are cool. I think the uniforms look good. I don't particularly care for the black ones.
You really?
Yeah, I don't know.
They are kind of
look kinda plain.
Steelers-ish.
They look
They're
kind of plain to me.
Pittsburgh-ish.
I think the W on the helmet on the black ones looks kind of cool, but I like the red and white ones. I think they look pretty clean. I think they look good.
Well, what you guys need to look up is for the Washington Commanders. There was this video yesterday from a news outlet who caught the reflection of a window at the stadium of like one of the merch store things, and it reflected Commanders.
Right.
So like that was their scoop when everybody kind of really knew Commanders was probably what was going to be picked.
If you were paying attention, that was already kind of known that Commanders was going to be it.
Yeah.
So much so we even talked about it on the show, but then, that was the confirmation. So it wasn't a huge surprise, although the uniforms, we hadn't seen them before. So they look pretty good.
So
but the name is
Washington-
kind of generic, but I guess if you have good cool enough uniforms, you can roll with the name.
So for now, the Washington Commanders, are we done?
I think we're done, right?
Well, now
Meaning, like, we've talked about them for a year or so.
Yeah.
And never about
now
any
they can
of their
fade
games.
into mediocrity again.
Yeah.
Well, now we can talk about their terrible stadium that leaks sewage on people.
Ugh.
That's an option. We can talk about their mediocre team. I was also wondering what do you call the Commanders for short? Because that's a long name. Most teams don't have a 3-syllable team name. So what do you cheer if you're like in the stands? Like
Manders.
see, I was thinking commies.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew that was coming.
You know, you have to think these things through.
Yeah,
I
don't think
coming.
they didn't register that.
Actually,
one.
you have to really think, what will the opposing team call you when
the
they're
commies.
there?
Yep. It reminds me of you remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer and Marge are trying to name Bart, and Homer's running through. Anytime somebody suggests a name, he like finds all the things it could rhyme with in case kids are going to make fun of him. And with Bart, he's like, I don't know, he didn't think of fart was the joke. And with Commanders, it's like they didn't even think that commies could be a possible alternative that people might call them. So they weren't thinking.
I guess we'll just see what mean things people come up with.
Oh, there's probably worse ones that I'm not even thinking of.
They'll
Maybe
come
that
up
we
with
can't
something
even
for
say.
everything.
Yeah.
No matter what your name is, they'll come up with something.
So the Washington football team is no more. It's the Commanders, and the uniforms are out to sea.
The truth is, the most hurtful thing they can call you is the truth, and that is losers.
Actually, nothing at all.
Yeah, right.
Lower your expectations enough, and you'll never be disappointed.
You're listening to The Riot
On RadioU.
I have some bad news. Bad news for our health.
Uh-oh. What else?
We have a new survey of 2,000 adults. Now, this is in the UK, but I think it probably applies just as well to people in the United States. And it has found that people are brushing their teeth less since COVID-19 started.
Oh, because probably people are not going out as much.
Yeah, so if you're not going out to work, maybe, or just going out on regular outings, I mean, I think a lot of people, maybe you brush your teeth every time before you leave the house. Now you don't have to worry about that as much. But, of course, we all know brushing your teeth, it's not just to keep your breath from stinking, right?
They say that it is a bigger look at your overall health.
Yeah.
So if you're starting to have a lot of teeth problems, you're either not taking care of them and they're having an issue, or your body's having an issue.
Yeah.
And your teeth are telling on you.
Yeah, it sounds like if you don't take care of your teeth, then that it could be the gateway to the rest of your body.
Oh, don't use the gateway word.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's the scary one.
Now, there's a lot of talk when I read surveys and stuff about dentistry.
Yeah.
Like keeping your mouth clean, and it's always linking. Here's what, if you don't brush your teeth and you don't floss, you could get this, and then like gum disease and stuff like that. And then gum disease means the rest of your body can be unhealthy. What if it's the other way around?
What if
the rest of your body is unhealthy and then you get gum disease?
I don't want to find out.
You don't want to find
I don't want to find out. No one likes going to the dentist, but they say that, you are recommended to brush your teeth in case you need a reminder.
Yeah.
You've been at home for so long. Twice a day. 2 minutes a time. And you're supposed to change your toothbrush every 3 months. Now,
they say that also in this survey, they found that more than a quarter of people admit to not flossing at all. I don't know if you caught this, Nikki. Isaia said that he is flossing like way more than you actually need to, than anybody recommends.
How come?
Because the next time he goes to the dentist, he wants to know once and for all
report?
if the because he says, when does anybody ever gone to the dentist and the dentist is like, looks like you're doing a good job flossing?
They never say
doesn't
it.
happen, right?
No.
So if he's constantly
flossing,
he's going to be like, aha, caught you.
Well,
how about you? Do you floss?
I use the picks, like the it has a little piece of floss, and then you kind of put it in. And so I use that. And the one time the hygienist lady was like, "Yeah, but that's not like flossing. Like that's not.
Come on,
you're still supposed to floss." I was
At least you're trying.
Well, I told her, I go, "Wait a minute. You told me this was good enough."
Yeah, right.
But it's not. You're supposed to literally, the long piece of floss. You're supposed to do that.
I've got a different. So you're doing your way. He's got his way. My way is not flossing at all.
Well, let's see. Let's all meet when we're done.
We'll see who dies first.
Okay, great. Or who has more health problems.
Yeah, right. I'm doing all right for now.
We are our own study.
Yeah, this is 3 people is enough, right?
Yeah, that works.
So at least even I, the non-flosser, say make sure you brush your teeth a lot.
At least do that part.
Especially if you're not flossing.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content,
head to riot.radiou.com.